Okay, so we were talking about the order of operations with 1 through 4 here. So just a quick review on what we were doing yesterday. Perform the parentheses first. If there's any operations in the parentheses. Now, if there's just a number in the parentheses, like a negative number, you don't need to do anything there. Sometimes they just put negative numbers in parentheses. It has to be an operation in parentheses. If once you've done that, or there's none of those, then you're going to go to number 2 with exponents. So you perform any exponents there, evaluate any exponents. Then after that, it's multiplying and dividing. Then last is adding and subtracting. And so this is what we went over these examples yesterday. And we did do a few of the problems here yesterday. I think we did number 2. So on this front side, you should have number 2 done, number 5. I even think we maybe done number 6 as well, and number 7. Now these other problems here is going to be also done, but we're going to use it. That's going to be your assignment on Delta Math, is to do the other problems there, and I'll show you that at the end. Okay. Okay, on to this one. Okay, so to the back side now. And the back side has just a little bit of information at the top of this back side. So it says which comes first. So it's showing you here again, multiplying and dividing comes before adding and subtracting, but it is left to right. So we would want to read it as a book. You're doing left to right. So here's an example of one where it's got 4 times 9 divided by 2. You want to go left to right. You would do the times first on this one. 4 times 9 giving us 36, then divide by 2 to get 18 as the answer. If we divide it first, well, that's going to not be 18. It will be out of order and giving us a wrong answer. This one here, you're going to go left to right, even though the divide is first. You're going to divide first and then multiply. So 18 divided by 3 is the 6, then 6 divided by 4, or 6 times 4 gives us 24 for the answer. If we had multiplied first and got 12, you'll see how that would be different. You'd be doing 18 divided by 12, and that is not 24. So you would get a different answer. So just remember, when we're doing multiplying and dividing, it is from left to right. Adding and subtracting, it's best if you do it left to right. You won't make as many mistakes with this one, but definitely multiplying and dividing left to right. If you just always go left to right, you should always be okay. All right, so let's take a look at these bottom 6 problems here. So I'm going to do the ones on the left, and you guys can try the ones on the right. And then I'll have you check your answers for those on the right. So with the first one here, 36 divided by 6 times 5. So we want to do, as we read it across, we come to the divide before the multiply. So we want to do those two first. 36 divided by 6. What number is that? 6. So it's 6 times 5. I'm going to put a dot for 5. And now what's our final answer going to be with 6 times 5? 30. There it is. So if I had done multiplying first and did 6 times 5, and that would be 30. 36 divided by 30 is not 30. So that'll give me a different answer. All right, go ahead and try this next one over here. 8 times 5 divided by 4. See if you can get the right answer there. Do that one on your own. Oh, I missed you. I'm sorry. All right, so we should multiply first, times, then divide on this one. 8 times 5 is what number? That's 40. So then we say divided by 4. Final answer is 10. Very good. Okay, that's our answer. When we come to the next one down here, it's got an add and then a subtract. So it would be best if we do left to right here so we never mess it up. Okay, so 7 plus 5 would be 12. Minus 3, final answer for this. 12 minus 3 is 9. Now I could have got it right if I had done 5 minus 3 first. That would be 2. 7 plus 2 is still 9. So that one, if you, like I said, sometimes you don't, with this one adding and subtracting, you might be fine, but you might not be fine. So that's where I would just say always go left to right so you know you're always going to be okay. All right, go on and do this one. 18 minus 8 plus 2. I'll give you a few seconds to get that one, get an answer for that one. And again, I would go left to right always. So you're always okay. Okay, so we do 18 minus 8. We'll do that first. And that would just give you a 10. So answer on this one is 12. Now what if we had done it out of the order? What if we would have done this? If we did like 8 plus 2, and you said 8 plus 2 is 10. And then you did, okay, 18 minus a 10, is that 12? 18 minus 10 is not 12. So if you did that, that would have been the wrong answer. If you would have done negative 8 plus 2, that, and you subtracted that and got negative 6, that would have been 12. So you could have done it that way and been okay. But you can make an easy mistake, though, if you think I'm just going to add 8 plus 2 and get 10. So that's why best is always to go left and right. Add and subtract left and right, multiply, divide left to right. Okay, down here we have a divided, a plus, and a times. Which one am I definitely going to do last? You're going to add last, right? So we know we have a divided, divide, add, and multiply. We will add last. So I need to do the multiplying and dividing first. And with these two, since they're on both sides of this add, they're kind of separate from each other. You can kind of do them at the same time. So 16 divided by 4, that's 4 there. And then it's going to be a 4 plus the number over here, 7 times 3, 21. And the final answer then will be, when I add, 25. Exactly. So then try this one. And over here it shows us 14 plus 2. And what does that parenthesis mean there? That means to times the 2 by 6. So you'll have a times there in the middle, then the minus 3. So try that one on your own. And then we'll check your answer. All right, so it's 14 plus what when I do this middle part? 12. 2 times 6, then minus 3. And then we want to do the 14 plus the 12 next. So that's going to end up giving us 26 minus a 3. Final answer, 23. Just like Michael Jordan's famous number. Here's with the Bulls. All right. Let's move to another side here, second side. Okay, so for this one up on the top, we don't see any parentheses. What we do see is a exponent first. Was that somebody at the door? I heard some knocking, but I wasn't sure. Can check. Nobody? Oh, there's some. Hi. Okay, he's here. Thanks. All right, so we got exponent on this one to do first. There are no parentheses, so next thing to look for is exponents, and we see one right there. So 5 squared, remember exponents mean that this little number up here tells you how many times to multiply the big number by itself. So since that's a 2, we're going to multiply the 5 times itself 2 times. 5 times 5. That will be what? 25. Okay, that's just telling us it's a 25 there. Then we have our minus 7 plus 8. And then we can just go left to right here with just subtract and add now, left to right. So 25 minus 7 is what number? It's an 18. And an 18 plus an 8, final answer will be 26. All right, go ahead and try this next one. We got a plus, a times, and then a divide. So the last one you will do is plus. So what do we do first out of those three? Multiply first, right? Because we're going to multiply and divide before we would add, but multiply comes first from left to right. 15 plus, and what's that going to now be? 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, what do we do next? Add or divide? Yeah, we want to divide. If I say 15 plus 12 first before I divide by 6, that's going to give us a wrong answer. We got to divide next before we add. And so we're going to say 15. Now that's going to be plus this number of 12 divided by 6, which is 2. And so our final answer, 17, is what you should have. Now this next one has parentheses, so we need to do what's inside parentheses first. The 3 out here means that once we're done there, we're going to multiply by 3. That's what that means. So inside here, what should I do first in the parentheses? Yeah, we're going to divide and then multiply, because left to right even in the parentheses. So we're going to divide 14 divided by 7. So let's keep with a 3 there. That's 2, isn't that there? Times the 5. And now we just do 2 times 5. What's in the parentheses? 2 times 5, 10. So final answer will be 30. 3 times 10. Now you go ahead and try this next one. It does have an exponent right here. You want to do that first. 8 squared first, and then you'll go through, look for any multiplying and dividing left to right, then add and subtract left to right. So I'll give you a little bit of time for that one. Try to get that done on your own so you can check your answers. What is 8 squared going to give us? Okay, so it's not 8 times 2, remember, it's not 16. It's 8 times 8, 64. Okay, so yeah, remember that the little exponent there tells you how many times to multiply the big number times itself. So if that was 8 to the third power, we'd do 8 times 8 times 8. Okay? Now we have the minus the 3 times the 8 divided by the 6 plus the 4. You do need to be careful that you do, as you're copying things down, you don't make a mistake even as you're copying. I've done that before. So now we have to go across. Should I do 64 minus 3 next? No, because there's multiply, there's a divide. We should multiply next, right there. So now this 64 is going to stay here. Minus 3 times 8 is what number? We got to do 3 times 8. 24. Okay, then we have to say divided by the 6 plus the 4. Are we doing 64 minus 24 now? No, what do we do next? Yeah, the dividing right here in the middle. So we're still got 64 there. Minus again. 24 divided by 6 is what number? 6 times what number gives us 24? 4. Yeah, so 6 times 4 is 24, so 24 divided by 6 is that 4. Okay, so now I could go left to right, and that's because I got minus and a plus. So now I could do 64 minus 4, which is 60. But then adding 4 again brings us back to 64. So our final answer there should have been 64. So that one took several different things. We finally got the answer. But as long as you just stay keeping going with that order, looking for parentheses first, then exponents, then multiply, divide left to right, add, subtract left to right, and just be patient as you go through it. I'll leave that there for just a second. Then you should always be okay at the end, unless you make some kind of error as you're multiplying or adding or subtracting. All right, bottom 4. Okay, so we have a parenthesis. That's always first. Do an operation in a parenthesis. So in that parenthesis, what should we do first? The exponent. Turn off the music. Take your earphones up. Ears open. Ears free. So the exponent 3 squared, that's going to give us 9 first. Okay, so 9. You got to do that first. So we'll circle that's first there. Then we have minus 6 in the parentheses. Then we still have this plus 15. Oops, not. I almost made that a plus. See, it's easy to mistake the divided and the plus. You got to be careful there. That's a divided by 3 there at the end. 9 minus 6 has still got to be done. So what is 9 minus 6? 3. Do I need parentheses still? No, they're not necessary now because it's just a number. So I can just say 3 plus 15 divided by 3. Okay, do I add 3 and 15? No, got to divide first. Over there, 15 divided by 3, so it's going to be 3 plus what number? 5. So final answer, 8. Okay, try this next one. You got the parenthesis here. You're definitely doing the exponent that's inside the parenthesis first, and then you'll add and subtract. And remember, you have a 2 means you're multiplying whatever number you get there in the parenthesis times a 2. Last thing you should do would be adding the 5. So what is 6 squared? 36. It's 6 times 6 minus the 7. Yep. So you got to get there. Then you're going to you can add and get 37, 1 plus 36, then subtract. So if we add first, we're going to get 37 minus 7. Still got the 5 plus 2. Now you do not ever want to do 5 plus 2. You do not want to make a 7 out here. It's very tempting, but that 2 has to multiply this first before you can add with the 5. I've seen students just want to make that 7. So it's got 30 now here. So I still can't add 5 and 2. I have to multiply next. So what's that going to give us? 5 plus what number? 60. 2 times 30 is 60. So final answer is 65. Okay? So if you end up doing 5 plus 2 and you get 7 and then you try to multiply by 7, nope, that's the wrong order. Okay, next one here, same thing with inside parentheses first. What are we going to do inside here first? We're going to divide or are we going to multiply first? Divide, because left to right, what comes first there will be done first from left to right. So 18 minus 5. And so we got 8 divided by 4 is what number? It's just 2. 4 goes at 8 2 times, so 2. I'll put the times dot there. I don't like putting x's for times just because it looks too much like a variable that we're going to use later on. Now I got to do 2 times 3 inside. So 18 minus 5 times, what number is that? 6 there. Okay, what do I do next? Multiply before I would subtract. So I don't want to subtract 18 minus 5. You want to multiply with this parenthesis. So you're going to get an 18 minus 30. So that's 18 minus 30. Will the answer be positive or negative? Be negative. Yeah. There's more negatives here because this minus 30, there's only one sign in front of 30, and it's a minus sign, so that makes it a negative 30. You could put plus negative 30 if you wanted to see it that way too, but you just need to realize I'm going to get a negative answer. There's more negatives here. And I'm going to subtract, and Rashawn was right, 12. Negative 12. Okay, try this last one here on your own. Do what's inside the parenthesis. Once you get that to a number, you notice there's a square on the outside of the parenthesis. You're going to square that number, whatever that number is. Okay, so inside parentheses, what number does that become inside the parentheses? 10. Because we got 15 minus 8, we're showing 7 here. 7 plus 3 is 10. So now that's 10 squared. So exponent would be next. Okay, so we did parentheses. Now will be exponent. And so we're going to do 10 squared. What is 10 squared? 100. I'll just multiply 10 by itself, 10 times 10. So 9 plus 100 divided by 2. Do we add 9 and 100? Nope. We gotta do this one first over here, divided by first. So it's going to be 9 plus what number? 100 divided by 2? 50. Final answer is 9 plus 50, 59. Okay? All right, so you're going to be doing an assignment. So if you turn it back over to the other side, you'll see the practice on the bottom. So the ones that we didn't do yesterday, you're going to do on the Delta Math assignment. So you need to grab a computer. So you guys can start getting it. Just go up and grab a computer, bring it back to your desk, and go to Google Classroom. And there's a link there for the Delta Math on order of operations.